Elect. All right, we're back out here to get out. All right, these last days of Babylon the Great. All right, this word is being declared, has reached to the four corners of the earth, and then the end shall come, which we are living in the end of the age of the Edomite, the last ruler of the heathen on the earth, and the Israelites are next to rule. All right, in the kingdom to come, man. You know, so we'll get right into it.
Another beautiful day to prophesy, you know, and essentially seeing is we're witnessing, you know, the downfall of America, Babylon the Great, as the scriptures essentially illustrate. That's right. So with that point, can we go ahead and start with Isaiah, the 19th chapter?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, from the top, the doom of Egypt.
Right, and the brother said the doom, you know, because when you go into that Hebrew word for a burden, all right, it's a mash'ah, which is a burden. It's utterance, all right, it's an utterance essentially going into prophecy, you see, but then it said a doom because it's nothing but doom and gloom prepared for America, Babylon the Great, which is also likened unto Egypt. Baba Kushak, can we get that point? Exodus 20 and verse 2. But this place also represents, you know, captivity, oppression, you know.
Yep, that's right.
How you run that point back, Baba Kushak?
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right, so the Lord essentially delivered the whole nation of Yasha'Allah, all right, and ancient Egypt, you see, but in this Egypt 2.0, the elect is going to be delivered. You know, but pretty much the point that Egypt represents oppression and bondage, slavery, servitude, you know. So you keep running back.
Isaiah 19, the doom of Egypt. The burden of Egypt. The Lord Yahweh riding upon a swift cloud.
Right, and the Lord Yahushua is coming in on that father ship. Could we get Psalm 68 and verse 7?
So Psalm 68 and verse 17. The chariots of the Most High are 24,000, or sorry, 20,000, even 1,000 angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place.
Right, so again, you know, the Lord Yahawashai, he's being dispatched by the Most High Yahweh, you know, to come and do destruction, you know, and deliverance. It's going to be simultaneous, you know, as the ICBMs is coming down. All right, essentially the chariot is going to be zapping, and the elect is going to be delivered, you know.
That's right. All right. Can we get that?
Yeah, yeah.
This is Revelation 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
Right, and it said, behold, he cometh with clouds. All right, essentially, this is called so-called UFOs. They're known as the chariots in the scriptures, you see, but then also it's cloak themselves as clouds. All right, so it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, you know.
It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
Right, so the Lord is essentially going to put into their remembrance what they did in the ancient world, ancient Rome, essentially when he was crucified. You know, but it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, you know, because essentially that father ship is gonna blot out, you know, the horizon sky, you know, it's gonna be so big. Right. Could we get that point? If bros didn't have nothing?
I want to add on to that.
Second,
UFO, the military and everybody that taking pictures of these UFOs, don't y'all notice they be in the clouds? Don't y'all know they come, you know, they like the lightning storm and the lightning flash, you can see them in the clouds. That's what the Bible say. They coming with clouds, so they use the clouds to cloak themselves. And they could be right now in these clouds right now, watching us, watching you. Watch there. You don't know. If they don't want to be seen, they cloak themselves in the clouds.
Yeah, even those so-called Israeli UFOologists, right? They said that. They said that what they call UFOs, UAPs, have the ability to cloak themselves in the clouds, right? Doesn't it say that in Psalms 104? That he rideth upon the wings of the wind, right? That's how the Lord moves. That's how the Lord moves throughout the heavens, right? But he's tied into the clouds. You know, the scriptures talk about Revelation that he's coming back in a great cloud, right? 6. Every eye shall see him, roughly paraphrasing. You know? You got it, bro.
We get this.
Fine. This is 2nd Ezra 13 and verse 7. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not.
Right, because going back to Revelation 1 and 7, it said, you know, every eye shall see him.
Right. Now
going to this right here, it says, I was seeing where the place where the hill was graven, but I could not because it was so big, and that's how every eye is going to see, you know.
You know, even when you look at Esau satellites, you know, when the stuff they're coming out, they're talking about ships that's bigger than the sun, that blocks out the sun, man. Right. So just imagine, you know, the size of this thing, man. all the earth was going to be able to see him even at a distance.
Right.
But it says, verse 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet fight.
Right, pursuant to Revelation, the 12th chapter, you know, essentially Esau, Edom, he's going to, you know, where the other nations, they're going to fight against the Lord, all right, but they're going to fail.
Right. It says, verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But I only saw, that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lip a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Right. Say that essentially, you know, the Lord speaks in similitudes, all right, essentially foreshadowing, you know. So going into this, you know, it's essentially a picture being made here. It said he cast out of his mouth a flaming breath, right. All right, sparks and tempests, and then it said all of these was mixed together, right? Or is that the next verse?
It's going to say the next
okay,
one.
Yeah.
Verse 11, it says, and we're all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was there to fight.
Right, so it's talking about the lasers that's on the chariots. You know, so they're going to be zapping 2/3 in the heathen, as the ICBMs is now pelting this place. You know.
It says, and burn them up every one, so that upon the sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was received, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Can you get Isaac? Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's going to be a terrible day.
Yeah.
Hey, matter of fact, Amos, the 5th chapter, woe to you that desire the day of the... All right, because this is what the prophets was talking about, man. They all had the foresight of prophecy of seeing the return of the Lord, man. All right.
This book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18.
Yep.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahawashi.
That's right.
To what end is it? To what end is it? Is it for you?
Yeah, yeah. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. You people really don't understand, man. All right, you people talking about, you know, Christianity, right? You're talking about you can't wait till the day of the Lord comes and all of that. You don't understand what you're asking for, man. All right, read on.
The day of the Lord is...
All right, the Lord said, think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came with a sword. A sword is a killing instrument, man. All right, so the day of the Lord equals death, destruction, chaos. Go ahead.
As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met it.
Yep.
Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit it. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light?
Right. So you're talking about final destination-like scenarios, man. All right, you flee from a lion and you thought you got away, and then you get met by a bear. Right? Then you take the bear and then you get met with a snake. Right? So what that represents is that there's no escape in the judgment. There's no escape in the day of the Lord's wrath. Right. All right, no matter what you do, how you prepare, all right, when it comes to these world superpowers, all right, on how they got the doomsday bunkers, on how they're preparing to fight against the Lord with their angels, tanks, the drones, the fighter jets, the satellites in the heavens, nothing that they can do. All right, keep reading out.
Even very dark, no brightness in it.
Any more?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's it. So the point of the matter that when Yahawashi, who the world literally calls Jesus the Christ, when he returns to the earth, it's going to be a very, very terrible day. All right, you're talking about a so-called, you know, UFO invasion, which is the chariots. And then on top of that, you will have nuclear missiles going off. Right. All right, so like the brother Yawam said, right, as all these things are happening simultaneously, all right, you're going to have destruction being played out, but at the same time, you're going to have salvation being played out. So as the destruction, as those missiles and warheads are coming down, and the chariots are turning shit to dust, all right, you're going to have the elect get beamed up into the fathership.
Right, it's pretty much going to be like an extinction level event.
There you go.
You know, that's how bad it's going to be. You know, when Yahawashi and the angels roll up. You know, it says in the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, if I may get that.
Yep.
Habakkuk, Salaki, the 3rd chapter. Habakkuk 3 and verse 2. And verse 3, it says, the Most High came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. Right, his glory covered the heavens, as his brother was going into.
Yeah.
You know, that fathership is going to cover the whole sky.
Yep.
But it says, verse 4, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, which those horns are really those laser beams, right, coming out of the chariots.
Oh, Isaiah 30:30.
And it says, and there was the hiding of his power. Before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet. That's essentially what he's going to leave behind. He's going to leave a trail of death, right? And that one, I forgot where it's at, but it talks about his garments being stained.
Isaiah 63.
Yeah, Isaiah 63, right? So pretty much, that's just a resemblance of how much bloodshed he's going to lay in the land, man.
Yeah.
Finishing it out, verse 6, he stood and measured the earth and beheld and drove asunder the nations. Right, because that's essentially what he's coming to do. He's going to take down the armies of these heathen.
That's right.
It says, and the everlasting mountains were scattered, the perpetual hills did bow, his ways are everlasting. That was pretty much it.
Wow.
If I might want to add, let's go back to 2nd Esdras 13 and 10, where it says, but I only saw, he said out of his mouth, as it had gas of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Now let's go back to these sci-fi movies we've seen, like The Day the Earth Still, where that big damn robot named Gort shot them lasers out. He targeted, what, 4 or 5 different drones at one time with one point and shot all them down. This man's what the Lord in that big chariot come do. Right. They got all this from the Bible. This man, the big warship landed, and just one single point, 50 or 100 or 1,000 laser beams coming out just that one area and shooting down these planes and stuff. That's how it's going to be in the day of the Lord.
That's right.
Even like Independence Day, when the chariot went over that building and shot that beam down, and they were blowing up the whole city, man.
Okay.
Right? That's how this day is coming to be, man.
Yep.
But this is Isaiah 30 and verse 30. And the Lord shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lightning down of his arm, and the indignation of his anger, and with flame and of a devouring fire, with scattering and tempest and hailstones.
And it says, with the indignation, you see, because the Lord is essentially very angry. You know, the scriptures say that he requires that which is past. You know, so could you also get Isaiah 66 and 15? Because the Lord is essentially angry. You know, he's not happy with the conduct that 2/3 have been conducting themselves, or how Esau Edom has been running the world. All right, and also what the heathen nations have done. You know, that's why the Lord is essentially enacting judgment.
God, this is Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past.
Right, the Lord requires that which is past. That word for require is about quash, which means seek, to make an inquisition. All right, and then also to search out. So the Lord demands an account for the things that have happened, all right, in the past, in history, and in the present.
Right. And what's crazy, not crazy, but when you read the scriptures, this is America. This is home all over again, right? And when what we just read in Revelation, them which also, right, shall be held pretty much the coming of the Lord. Not just that those same people back in the ancient Rome are here today.
Right.
And they're going to witness the punishment, that's due unto them.
Did we get that, Bob?
It's Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Because in that, it's going to be the ICBMs you see, and then we also got 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter in Revelation 1 and 7. So when the Lord YAHWASHI returns, he's going to be zapping, and then the ICBMs is going to be doing essentially what's called a scriptures know this place is Maratayam, which is double rebellion. Well, for the rebellion, they're going to receive a double bitterness, so it's going to be overkill. That's the word I was looking for, overkill.
Yeah, to add on, get 2nd Esdras 16, where it talks about who shall not utterly be beaten into powder. Get that real quick, because that's exactly, you got to, and like you said, Babylon's going to receive overkill, bro. Right. You talking about when the Lord returns with the heavenly hosts, they're going to be zapping people to death. Then on top of that, nuclear destruction.
Right.
Then you don't forget about earthquakes and volcanoes and sinkholes and tsunamis. It's going to be, it's like you said, it's an extinction level event, man. So this place is going to go out with a terrible destruction, man. Right?
This is 2nd Ezra 16 and verse. I'll start at 9. It says, "A fire shall go forth from wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence."
So you got
Because essentially, again, what's going on, the Lord is bringing judgment. All right, scripture say that the Lord is known from the judgment which executed. The wicked is ensnared by the work of his own hands, you see. So the heathen, all right, and the other nations, and 2/3 because they want to subscribe to the ways of Esau, Edom, for those very acts and deeds that they have carried out throughout the planet Earth.
Right. When somebody says in the world, I'm gonna beat you to a pulp. Pretty much saying like he's gonna beat the shit out of you.
Right.
That's essentially what the Most High is gonna do to this land, and really to all these heathen nations, man. Going to completely eviscerate them, to really literally turn them into powder.
That's it. That's why they showed you in the scene.
Right.
War of the Worlds.
Right.
You know, they had a scene where the chariots came down, started zapping people. They showed the white woman running all slow. And then as soon as she got to a couple feet, turned her ass to dust. Where do you think they got that from?
Right.
Exodus 12:12.
Oh, you hold that. You have something?
Yeah, I ain't so.
Okay.
Let me get this first. This is Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness will be uncovered, yet thy shame shall be seen. And I will take vengeance, and I will not meet you as a man. See, when Yahawashi come back the second time, first time he came back as a man, y'all beat him, y'all whipped him, put thorns on his head, broke him all up, stuck him with a spear. This time when he come back as an angelic powerhouse, a super soldier. The top soldier that ever was in battle raiment, battle gear. He ain't gonna meet you as a man this time. He come to take y'all damn heathens and the Esau Edom, the devil, his kingdom, take y'all down, man, once and for all.
Right, because see, the scriptures say that, the Lord came lowly on the ass's colt, you see, but this time around, he's coming very angelic, glorious, majestic, you see. He's coming as a tactician, Right.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 36 from the top. Have mercy upon us, O Lord YAHAWASHI4theELECTION3, God of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee.
Yep, so that fear, the chariots coming, right? The understanding that the chariots are coming is sending fear upon all these nations, huh? Yep. Right, that's why we see them putting all these resources toward these space programs and things of that nature. Right. That's why Trump is institute Space Force and stuff like that, man, because they know what's coming, man. Right. And they want to prepare to their best abilities, man.
Yeah, Esau ain't got all these satellites and the telescopes just to watch the heavens just because it looks pretty. All right? No, they're watching the heavens because they know that the Lord is coming back. They even talked about it, I want to say about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, the Elder Apostle Ramblab, he went into it, but NASA, the people at NASA were talking about the idea of the return of Christ and how he will come back. So why are these heads at NASA talking about that type of stuff? Right. Because they know that the chariot, they know that the Lord is coming back as a force from the heavens, man.
Right. Right. Yeah. And also, what do you think that they create? What they call it, the Star Wars program? That's it. Creating laser weapons. All this advanced tech, ultimately to fight against the chariots, man.
Right.
The little laser beams that they have on these battleships or whatever, that's really low level to what they really got, as far as the secret weapons.
Right. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Go to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, have great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. And back what we brother was saying, they see the angels out there, they see these big chariots. That's why they're coming down on everybody, especially the Israelites in the near future, because they know they have but a short time. They know Yahawashi is coming. In full battle agreement, man.
Yeah, we got that.
Ecclesiastes 36 and verse 3.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Lift up thy hand, a strange nation, and let them see thy power. As thou wast fired in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us.
So that's the point being, we're praying for the Lord to send his power, show the heathen what we know is coming, man, right? Show them how your strength. Hey, because all these chariot sightings is pretty much the Lord doing a show of force. Right, the same way you see China or you see North Korea show all their military capabilities. Right, every time a chariot sighting happens, that's the Lord letting it be known what His power is, man. But only on a small level. You know, so He's letting these things be known, and we're praying for them to be shown even in greater capacity, man.
Right, flexing. Right.
That was up.
The Lord flexing with the jab. Yeah. You run that back, Barbara.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, from the top, the doom of Egypt. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud.
Again, because the Lord Yahawashai is going to be dispatched, essentially to destroy America, Babylon the Great, you know.
And shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
Right, in which the idols of Egypt are being moved literally, spiritually, you know, currently, you know, by this word, you know. This word is essentially exposing all the lies, the deceptions, and things that Esau Edom used as strongholds, you know, as pursuant to 2 Corinthians 10, the 10th chapter, you know.
And the heart.
Could you get, you got the Exodus 12 and 12?
This is Exodus chapter 12 and verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and I will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Lord Yahweh.
Right, so it's the execution of judgment upon the idols of Egypt. All right, but this is Egypt 2.0. Essentially, the Lord is showing that, you know, these idols are essentially of no avail. That's pursuant to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, you know. Can we get that? Because back in ancient Egypt, you know, the Lord made an open chute to you. I believe they had a frog deity, you know, for fertility or something like that. You know, the ancient Egyptians used to worship the Nile, you know, so the Lord made the river Nile bleed red. You know, so the Lord made an open chute of each idol, or essentially the main idols in ancient Egypt, you know.
We want me to start out?
2 and 17 or 18.
Yeah, 18. This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 18. What profiteth the graven image, that the maker thereof hath graven it?
Right, so it said, what profiteth? All right, that word profit is what avail, what benefit does the idol have? It has no benefit, you see, because it's just a teacher of lies, you know. Essentially, the different philosophies and ideologies that these things come with, you know, i.e., you know, back in ancient Egypt, they would put the women over the men, you see, but that's against order. When the Lord said to let all things be done decently and in order, you know, so these things don't have an avail, they just look good, you know.
Right. It says, the molten image, a teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusteth therein to dumb idols.
Right, the maker thereof trusted therein to make dumb idols. The word for dumb goes into, it doesn't even speak, you know. Right. What's going on currently? Hey, essentially, these scriptures is speaking. You know, the scriptures is manifest, and it's being made plain upon tables by the prophets. You see, because the Lord is speaking to His men. You know, right. These idols don't have any type of. They're not alive. They're not living. Again, they just look good. You know. Right. Well, let's finish it out, and then you get it.
Verse 19. It says, "Woe unto him that saith to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone, arise. It shall teach."
Right, and those two is predominant strongholds for Jake. All right, the wood, it represents so-called Christianity, and that stone is the cobblestone for Islam. You know, those are the main strongholds upon the Jake community. You know.
God. It says, "Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it."
Right, it ain't no understanding, you know, and it says it's laid over with silver and gold. So these things just look good. They don't got no real benefit. You know, it just look good to the eye. You know.
Wisdom of Solomon 15 verse 15. For they counted all the idols of the heathens to be gods, which neither have use of eyes to see, nor noses to draw breath, nor ears to hear, nor fingers of the hand to handle, and as for their feet they are slow to go. For a man made them, and he borrowed his own spirit, fashioned them, but no man can make a power like unto himself, like the brother said. They just stone and steel and jade and silver and whatever else y'all building these gods out of. Our power is IshayarYAHAWASHI4theELECTION3, the invisible power. Anything else you pray down and bow down to is an idol.
Yeah, in 44, I believe it tells you do these guys speak, breathe.
Yeah.
Right. You know, Isaiah goes into that, man. You know, how Jake, you know, is subject to these idols that do nothing. You know, and it's the same thing now. Lord, this is why our people are about to be punished for being deeply involved in idolatry, man. You know, they tell themselves that, you know, a rock is the one that raised me up. A stock of wood was the one that gave me direction, you know? That's the spirit of our people, man.
I got that for you. I was just going to add, that's why it says, you know, all those that make these idols are like unto them, man.
Yeah.
Right? So that meaning worthless. Right? If you worship idols, then you have no worth to IshayarYAHAWASHI, man. Because ultimately you're putting your trust in something that's not going to profit you.
Yep.
This is oh, Slack, you got it. You want me to get it? This is Isaiah 44:17. And the residue thereof maketh a god, even his graven image.
Start 16.
16. Isaiah 44:16. He burneth part thereof in the fire, with part thereof he eateth flesh.
Right, so it's talking about the process of which, you know, men essentially, you know, make different idols, you know.
It says, he roasteth roast and is satisfied. Yea, he warmeth himself and saith, I am warm, I have seen the fire. And the residue thereof he maketh a god, even his graven image. He falleth down unto it and worshipeth it, and prayeth unto it, and saith, deliver me, for thou art my God. They have not known nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand.
Right, which the scriptures say, you know, the deceived and the deceiver are the Lord's, you know. The Lord has them for his purposes, you know.
Verse 19, and none considereth in his heart, neither is there knowledge, no understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire. Yea, also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it, and shall I make the residue thereof an abomination? Shall I fall down to the stock of a tree?
Right, nobody is ultimately considering these things, you know. They're ultimately, those that are into idolatry or idolatry, excuse me, those that are into idolatry, they don't ultimately sit there and think about, you know, hey, they're falling down to a false image. They don't think about it's a pale face, you know, blue-eyed devil on their wall, you know, and what benefit is it giving them? They don't ultimately consider these things, you know.
Right. It says, he feedeth on ashes, a deceived heart hath turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, is there not a lie in my right hand?
Right, so ultimately, the people that are given to idolatry, essentially, they're relying on deceptions, you know, that those benefits is mentioned in Proverbs, the first 32nd verse, ultimately going into that false sense of security, you know.
May I read this in the NLT? This is Isaiah 44:20 in the NLT. It says, the poor fools feed on ashes. He trusts something that cannot help him at all. Yet he cannot bring himself to ask, is this idol that I am holding man alive? Right, so just backing up the brother, man. Them idols, you know, that Jake is really been onto, soon Jake's gonna find out that it's really a lie. Right. You know, all that Jesus cross, you know, the Islam with the damn stone and everything, Jake's gonna soon find out that there's no profit in that, there's no benefit in that, there's no help in that.
Right, because that's what they're looking for. It said in their right hand, you know.
Right.
And your right hand is what you rely on, you know. So they don't ultimately sit there and consider that they're living their life off of a deception, you know.
Deception, right.
Yeah, that's what the Lord made mockery of, Jake. He said, go pray to those false gods to see if they're going to deliver you from the wrath to come. Roughly paraphrasing. You know?
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 11, hath the nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods, but my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit. Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 11, hath the nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods.
Right, because the scriptures say that, you know, Jake has went upon every high mountain, every green tree, roughly paraphrased, because Jake had tried everything, you know. Jake has changed from serving the Lord, or ultimately, you know, to serve the calf. All right, going to this so-called religion, that so-called religion, you know, Jake has been everywhere, you know.
Right, and we know that the word God in the Hebrew goes back to Allah, meaning power. Right, so if you've gone from power to something that serves no power, you've made yourself powerless.
Right.
Because that's where the strength lies for our people, is our connection to the Lord. Right? We read in Jeremiah 2 and 11, have the nations changed their gods, which are yet no gods, but my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit.
right? And ultimately, whereas this was supposed to be made for our glory, to glorify the Lord, you see, essentially, Jake has made it to where, you know, that they're going into things that's not going to make themselves honorable. You know, essentially, they're carrying themselves in a way that's going to amount to destruction.
Verse 12, be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid, be ye desolate, saith Yahweh. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Yeah, so our people, they've not only forsaken the Lord, but they've cleaved unto these idols, they've cleaved unto these practices where there's no value.
Yeah.
Right?
Them broken cisterns represent those false doctrines and philosophies that can hold no water. The water is the truth. So those other doctrines are not giving Jake the water. You know, they're leaving Jake empty and dry. This is why people are faint for thirst, like it tells you in Isaiah 41.
Or you know, even the Jake that come, they hear the truth, but there's certain things that it can't hit them. It's like these Jakes that they know that they're Israelites, but call them the wrong name, calling them Israel and all. You know,
Yahweh.
They could be considered broke down too because the truth isn't really in them.
Exactly.
It's leaking.
I was with that. Did y'all get that? Jeremiah 2? Gone. So Jeremiah in 13 is
what's the purpose of having a water jug and it don't hold no water?
And the bottom going out of it.
Yeah, the bottom got a hole in it, holes all in it, you know? That's these doctrines, and like you said, that's these Jakes that know they're Israel, but they're offended in some fashion of the doctrine, or they don't know, they can't obtain the name.
This is Jeremiah 2 and 13. For my people had committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewn them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Right? And when you go really into water, water is essential for life. Right? And water is a similar to the truth. Because, well, there's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? Because the scriptures talk about in Isaiah 33:6 that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, right?
Yep.
So, in this time coming into, Jake is going to find out that jug that they made for themselves ain't going to sustain them, man. It's going to be leaking all kinds of water, man.
Yeah, Jake think they got water. When it comes into the time of Jacob's trouble, they're going to try to go into that and it's empty.
John 7:38, right? Can I get that? Or somebody was over something?
Get that real quick, my cap up with that.
No, we got none.
So Isaiah 32 and verse 6. For the vile person will speak valiantly, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy and utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
That's speaking on these Christians, these damn pastors, all these false teachers, all these so-called leaders, man. Hey, Jake is seeking for the truth, man. Jake really wants true understanding of who they are as people, where they're going, the true understanding of the Bible. But you have, like the elder was saying, you have these false religions, you have these Negroes that set up to keep Jake in that confused state, man. So when Jake really seeking for answers, they constantly, man, like the brother said, when they actually try to go into that pail or that bucket of water, they got toes in it. As soon as they pick it up, damn thing fall through, man. And that's what you see with the Christianity, false doctrines, man.
This is the book of John 7:38. I started 37. John 7:37. In the last day, the great day of the feast, Yahawashi stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. Verse 38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So what does it mean out of his belly? It's going into your mind. So out of your mind shall flow rivers of living water, which is just knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But you only get that through the true living waters, Yahawashi.
That's why you have to immerse yourself in the water.
That's it.
Hey, somebody get Revelation 3 and 20.
He said, "Come to me and drink." You gotta spiritually, digest.
You gotta embrace it.
Yeah, Yahawashi.
Hey, as much as you output, you gotta fill it back up. So as much brothers are talking about being balanced, you gotta feed the spirit as much as you're, putting videos out. You still gotta feed yourself too.
Facts.
Character building videos and the milk and all that. You gotta still tap into that too.
Revelation 3 and 20.
This is Revelation 3 and verse 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
The door represents your mind, man. They said, I stand at the door and knock, man. Keep going.
If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him.
And I will sup with him, man. Like the elder and the brothers, man. Hey, the Lord is feeding.
Right.
When you having dinner, it was called what? A supper, right?
Right.
Supper with you. He's feeding you with what? The knowledge and the true understanding, according to the Bible, of the Holy Spirit. So that's when it comes to actually sitting down and supping with the Lord, getting built up, man.
Right.
That's true nourishment.
Yeah,
Right.
true nourishment.
What they call breaking bread.
Yeah. Breaking bread. Hey,
Right.
Yeah.
It says, and will
And
sup.
that shows you that Israelites written the Bible, man.
Right.
Even with that breaking bread, Jake,
Right.
that's how we talk, man.
Right.
That's called this world slang.
Yeah, even the ox know of his master's crib, right?
Yeah.
Jake be at the crib.
Yeah.
You know?
Man.
It says, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me.
Yeah, he with me, man. Break, that's the brother said. Language term, breaking bread, man. Getting the understanding. The Lord open your eyes to see and understand certain things at the world point of view. Prophets in 144,000, and that is out of the nation of Israel, man. No other nation. No other nation can be a prophet, man.
I got something. This is Matthew 18:3. And said, verily, as I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. So why? This is Matthew 18:3. And said, verily, I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
God, can you get that word for convert? Because pretty much the scriptures say, to repent, yea, or perish. Ultimately those is going to repent to ultimately return and essentially feel sorrowful for their sins is going to be the elect, and essentially they're going to be in the spirit of converting.
Yep. Child.
That's right.
Child, you have to throw out things that you learned in this world and pretty much, begin as a new. All right? Because like when you look at a child's brain, they said a child's just like a sponge. So they're absorbing everything they see and they hear. And so essentially that's what we're supposed to be doing with this knowledge, man. And that's how you become converted, because when you are immersing yourself with this truth, all right, the Lord is going to stir up your pure mind into the remembrance of what we once knew. And if you had this truth in the past life, you're gonna receive it again in today's time. But like I said, you have to throw away all the shit you learned in the world, though, man.
That's supping with the Lord.
Exactly.
And I got this word for converted. It says, of a building, which the building is a temple, right, which is your body, and primarily your mind, starts with your mind. It says, of a building having been adapted to be suitable for a new purpose.
And how do we do this? Psalms 119 and verse 9, it says, Bayat, it says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto, according to thy word. The scriptures is likened to that water. You're saying, what do you do with water? You cleanse. So ultimately we have to cleanse our minds, from the filth and the dirt, essentially that we got according to the conversation that we was living before we heard about this truth, We have been called to become new creatures in the Lord Yahawashi.
Real quick. It's Matthew 9 and 17. Neither do men put new wine into old bottles, else the bottles break, and the wine runneth out, and the bottles perish. But they put new wine into new bottles, and both are preserved. Right? So just going into your mind, having to be renewed, man. Right? You have to come to this thing, right, with a fresh slate, man. You can't come try to bring the world into the truth, man. Right. That's how you end up falling away, because these things don't mix. They're like oil and water, man.
Yeah. For example, look at Alizar. That mode, you know, watching words now. But that mode, man, this dude, as you see, he's tapping all the way in to that pseudo gangster BS that he's trying to promote, and then still trying to act like he got them Hebrew roots with him. Like, yo, bro, you can't play both sides. This is why the Lord ended up giving him over to that shit, man. Yeah. Watch this nigga he gonna get gunned down more than likely, man. The Lord done for the missile. Yeah,
right. He always trying to exalt some street shit.
Yeah.
And some street niggas. We got some niggas that's ready to come see y'all for what y'all talking about, man. Get the fuck out of here.
If hanging around that guy, you're already.
That's what the Lord got to do away with that guy, man.
Yeah.
You know?
25, man, the streets are dead.
Right.
The gangsters and all. Nobody cares about them no more.
Right.
Work for the police.
And it's the spirit, man. I was talking about that. Hey, you niggas that's infatuated with the streets, the Lord's gonna leave your ass in the fucking streets, man. There's gonna be bodies in the streets in the time to come, man. You know? That glorified gangster street shit, that's done, man. The Lord is getting rid of street niggas, man.
Did you not see the plethora of rappers that got mowed down the last 4 years? Like, yo, show you the Lord's not dealing with no street niggas. And for anybody that's glorifying that, bro, that shows you you're either a lame, all right, you're trying to compensate because you weren't nobody, you know, in the world, or just period. So you use that persona, that's all it is, it's a persona, trying to make yourself be something you're not.
Yeah, you like the niggas when we went to college, nobody knew where you was from. So you try to come to college like you just gang banging niggas because nobody know your ass.
Found out to be a lame.
Yeah, they're fucking lame, man. It's a lot of lames in Israel, bro. A whole lot of lames, bro.
And all you gotta do is just see how these niggas act.
All right.
They'll show. The main ones that be trying to power trip, them the lame niggas. They never had none in the world.
Hey, the loudest nigga in the room is usually the weakest nigga.
Exactly.
This is John 6 and verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing.
Right, and that word quicken goes back to make alive, you know, to refresh, you know, to restore. So say, it is the spirit that quickeneth. The spirit is the word. It says, you keep going. It's loud.
It says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing.
Right, the flesh profiteth nothing. All right, all the ways that we just mentioned, essentially, you know, Jake gang banging, whether Jake is doing other things in this world, you know, those ways amount to nothing. You know, it's about these scriptures, and that's essentially how, you know, we essentially build ourselves up in the Lord, you know, essentially cleanse ourselves, you know.
It's the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
Right, the scriptures right here is spirit and it's life, you know. That's essentially how, you know, we've come to be able to be renewed and to be able to live, you know. It's the spirit that we're living, you know.
Yeah, we would get, hey, Isaiah 34:16. Get that to and add on to. That's what your woman's saying. That's how we became gathered to this ministry. It was all by the Spirit. It tells you that in Romans as well. Let a man be fully persuaded in his own mind. Hey, we heard and believed, right? You know,
It just clicked.
This is Isaiah 33. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit he hath gathered them.
Right, so it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. None of these shall fail, talking about the prophecies, you know, because everything pursuant to Isaiah 42 and verse 9, all right, the former things, you know, essentially have came to pass, you know, and essentially the new things, prophecy is going to come to pass, you know. But you can run it back.
God. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail.
Right, no one of these shall fail. All the prophecies is going to happen. You keep going.
None shall want her.
Because again, going back to, you know, these other ideologies and philosophies, essentially, it doesn't amount to the scriptures, you know.
right? They can't merge. They can't merge anything outside of the Bible, you know, with the Bible. You know?
Right.
It says, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit gathered them.
Right, his spirit hath gathered them. All right, the scriptures is where the nation gathers. All right, whereas, you know, prior to this truth, Jake, you know, in the different lifestyles, those was death styles. All right, essentially we become living by a middle wall partition being put back together, starting with the elect. You know.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the word, water by the word. That means cleansing your mind. You got to cleanse your mind from all these philosophies, doctrines. That's like when your mind is cleansed by the word, it's like your mind's being disinfected. And if you don't get all the germs, they'll grow back and reinfect your ass, and you go right back in the world and fall out of the truth.
Right. It's a parasite cleanse.
That's right.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
because what a parasite done more than demons.
That's right.
It's truth. It cleanses you for real.
You don't kill them bad boys, what? You just one, they'll multiply and grow and take your ass back over again.
Hey, a little leaven.
First Corinthians 5:2.
Little leaven the whole lump, man.
Right, because when you look at parasites, what parasites do, all they do is leech off your body. They don't give you nothing beneficial. And the same thing are the ways of this world. You know what I'm saying? The ways of this world, they take from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ultimately put you in the worst case instead of putting you in a better position.
Yeah, because these different parasites, depending on where they're at in your body, they sap energy from different body parts, have you craving different things and whatnot. That's essentially how, you know, these spiritual demons do. Like I said, Jake infatuated with the streets. Jake got a adulterous demon on them, or whatever the case may be. Those are demons that you got to sell.
Yep.
And the person out, you have to let it go.
Yep.
Like when you're doing a cleanse, man, you gotta let go of the sugar, you know, the bread, you know, different things like that. You gotta do a full body detox.
Right. You gotta feed in the parasite.
Exactly.
Yep.
So 1 Corinthians 5 and verse 6, your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaveneth the whole lump? It says, purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened, and for even Hamashiach our Passover is sacrificed for us.
And that's what we see with a lot of these guys that ain't right, man.
Man, look how all that.
Read it again, bro.
So 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened.
Right. And purge out all leaven. That's something that these guys that we see look out, that's no longer amongst us, they didn't do. All right? Because this truth is ever, you know, cleansing you, is ever making you grow. And if you're not following the spirit, you're going to get left behind. You're going to be devoured by the world, man.
I got a precept. Ephesians 4 and 22. That you put up concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to deceitful lust.
Yeah, that old man. Hey, nobody gives a fuck who you was in the world, man.
Right.
You know, that's something that a lot of Jakes they don't get. You know, we don't glorify the things we used to do in the world, man. No matter what it was, whether you was the biggest dope dealer in the streets, or whether you were somebody in the world, you know, popular nigga, you was in the league, nobody cares.
Right.
Because we understand that everything in this world is vanity, man. It's bullshit. It's not worth nothing. We're concerned about who you are now, and that shows because if you're still worrying about the old man, then you're truly not born again in the spirit, man. And that shows you that you're not of Yahawashai, man. What did Yahawashai tell? Who was it Peter and John? They was the fishermen. I forget the name. I want to say it was Peter and John. He was like, look, put all that away and follow me. You know, it's like we gotta bury the dead and all that.
Yeah,
like,
let the dead bury the dead.
Yeah, but he was saying, you know, follow me. And following the Lord means we put everything else that we used to do to the back burner, man.
I got one more verse. So 1 Corinthians 5 and 8. Therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
Right, so now we're at the, yeah, you bringing McDonald's to your IshayarYAHAWASHI4theELECTION3, man.
Yep.
Bringing goddamn McGriddles and goddamn Hardee's and shit, man. You know, the Lord has everything we need. He got the bread, the milk, the wine, you know, all organic, good for your soul food. And you got Jake still trying to cling to this bullshit GMO shit out here, man. But that's why a lot of you guys, as I said earlier, your spirit's not right. And it shows. That's why eventually you get moved out. Because the Lord is only coming back for those that's redeemable. And if you're not fully committed to getting rid of the old man completely and living as a new creature, Yahawashai, he's gonna get rid of you, man.
I got this for you. This is Ephesians 4 and 22. I'll start 21. It says, if so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yahawashai.
Yeah, because the Lord is teaching you how to become that new man. He's telling you what to do. And that's the problem with a lot of our people, and even us sometimes, man. And we ain't praying to the Lord enough, man.
Right.
You know, certain things that we're battling, instead of going to the Lord and trying to aim for that strength, we try to do it on our own, and that's why you end up falling, man. You fail. You know, but he's telling us every scripture in the Bible is an answer to something that you need, man. You know, but you gotta apply that. You gotta look for it.
Verse 22, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust.
Right. That's, you always make mention of him coming back to save no gangster, no black nigga, no Hispanic native. No, he's coming back for the 12 tribes of Israel, the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel. Right. All right, and the elect, all right, as the scripture said in Revelation 14, is not going to be gallant about it. You know, they're not going to be able to have their good run. All right, the other believers, because we know what is pleasing to the Lord and what's not.
Right. Verse 23, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, And that ye put on the new man, which the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness.
And that's your focus, is becoming that new creature, Lord. So, hey, the elect is going to search out any and every way to please the Lord. Like it says in Sirach 5 and 15, all right, being not ignorant of any man who's small or great. So you're going to look in every nook and cranny to figure out how to please the Lord. Because that's not what you do with a woman. You know, when you're trying to court a woman, are you not trying to figure out what she like, what she don't like, so you can impress her? Well, you're supposed to be doing the same thing with YAHAWASHI. So everything matters. All right, from the name all the way down to learning the history, the Hebrew, to whatever, you know, the love and spirit guides you to. But you're gonna search it out to please the Lord, man.
Real quick, this 2 Timothy 3 and verse 8. Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so that these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith, but they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was. So we're seeing take place is men whose folly is being shown forth because they could put off that old man, because they continue to allow that leaven right into their lives and wouldn't separate it, man. Right. So as they refuse to let that folly go, right, it's being made manifest as an example to the rest of the believers of how not to carry yourself.
I can add to that, because whatever you're not willing to let go in the spirit will eventually bleed into the truth, and the Lord is going to expose you. All right, this is why that constant fight, all right, that constant sacrifice, and you have the ability to overcome it, but you have to want to do it. And guys that don't want to do it, like I said, they'll eventually be brought out, and that's what end up getting these guys exposed to them.
A great read is what Mark the 10th chapter, man. And this man, he said, I've done all these things until my youth. And YAHAWASHI said what? Go and basically all his possessions. And the rich man, what he do? He got greedy.
He went away sad when he had him there.
Yeah, and that's how, like the elder said, man, a lot. The Lord don't give a damn about who you was before you came into the truth, man. It's you putting off that old man and letting all of this worldly affairs, letting that shit go, man, and proving yourself to the Lord, man.
With the book of Proverbs, chapter.
We get this first.
This is us. Chapter 10 and verse 18. By much slothfulness, building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands, the house droppeth through.
Right, and that serves as an example as to, you know, the things that, you know, different individuals don't want to let go. You know, because the scriptures tell us, you know, to build ourselves up, you know, and the wisdom. You know, we're not supposed to hold on to the things that no longer work for our house. You know, when you build a house, you know, if the roof is falling through, you know, you're not going to use that same roof. You can get a new house, not a new house, but like a new roofing, you know. So essentially, we're supposed to do the same things, but in righteousness.
Right.
So we get the upkeep of the house.
Yep. Right.
Proverbs.
No, it's like, go ahead.
Proverbs 24 and verse 3.
Oh, right.
Through wisdom is a house builded, and by understanding it is established.
Right, through wisdom is a house builded, and by understanding it is established. You know, through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, that's what gives true stability.
Yeah, and that house, as you may mention up earlier, that's your tabernacle, your body. All right, because we're all supposed to be fashioning our bodies after the Lord's likeness. You know. Yeah, go ahead.
4. And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with the precious and riches.
Right, and that word for chambers is chadaryan, which is that you got a house, but then you got the insides, you know. So the Lord is concerned with that inner man, you know. So with the room, you got a literal house, you got the bathroom, you got your kitchen, you got your living room, etc., you know. So the same in the spirit, you know. You got the fear of the Lord here, you know, you got prayer here, you got understanding, you know, you got meditating upon the word, you know. So that's what that new house is supposed to be filled with, you know. It ain't MTV cribs, you know, where you got a whole bunch of nigga shit. No, like we're building it in righteousness.
Right. And if I may add too, when you have a home, all of those rooms are connected. You have the pipelines that run through all of the different places. So you may have a busted pipeline in the upstairs living room, if you got an upstairs living room, if you're balling like that, and that shit could run down to the living room downstairs.
Right.
Just putting out that in a sense of a metaphor, like everything is connected.
Right.
Everything has to be finely tuned.
Little leaven of the whole lump. Yep.
Right.
Verse 5. A wise man is strong, yeah. A man of knowledge increaseth strength.
Right, so essentially, you know, these things are essentially increasing our strength. All right, Proverbs 14 and 26, you know, and the fear of the Lord is a strong confidence, you know, and his children have a strong place or a place of refuge, roughly paraphrasing. So in this wisdom, you know, essentially we're building ourselves up, and that's giving us that stability. But we'll go back to
Can I add to that real quick?
you good.
Like you made mention of that stability and building that home. This is Matthew chapter 7 and verse 24. Speak on it, bro. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which buildeth his house upon a rock.
Right. The elect is essentially going to apply the scriptures. All right. It's not just going to be words. All right. The elect is ultimately going to apply the scriptures and get that true stability.
Verse 25. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
Right, and that rock being IshayarYAHAWASHI4theELECTION3, you know, who provides, all right, true stability. Could we get that point, Isaiah 33 and 6?
Yeah, because the winds represent the adversity, the hell and tribulation that's coming. Those that's founded upon IshayarYAHAWASHI4theELECTION3 are going to withstand. You know?
This is Isaiah 33 and verse 6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. Fear of the Lord Yahweh is his treasure.
Right, and that went back to that word we had looked up earlier, homeostasis, just because the word homeostasis in so many words goes into pretty much where your body is fighting for equilibrium. With the elect having the true equilibrium and balance and equity, all right, with 2/3, and inwardly they're looking for something that's not going to fill that void, you know? Going back to the point that we had made in the spirit, they have got those broken cisterns, you know?
Right.
Yeah, boy, yeah. It was one more now?
Not that I saw.
And Isaiah 33 and 6.
Let me go back.
Fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Oh, it's locked in right now. That's all I read it. This is Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure.
Right, so it starts with the fear of the Lord, abiding by the house rules. Hey, we got a house, you know. Essentially, we got to abide by the house rules, you know.
Now you think about that, right? If you got a general contractor, there's guidelines that they have to abide by to allow for that house to be built. If they don't meet those qualifications, they're gonna deem that house inhabitable.
Right.
Like you can't be in there, bro. You don't. It's not level. That's not right. That's not right. So they just gonna say that house can't stand.
Right.
Unless you fix it.
Right. That's the reason why the scriptures always say to examine thyself. Examining that's pretty much what you do to your house. You know, you gotta do an examination.
House inspection.
House inspection, man. A routine check to make sure everything's in working order. Otherwise, later on, you're gonna come out that, oh, you gotta fix this pipe, or you got mold growing on the walls. You got this than originally when you first should have expected it.
Right. Now we did a lesson about that a while ago. We're the spiritual general contractors. Because we're telling Israel, all right, this is what the Lord is expecting the qualifications of your house to look like. If you make those changes and those tweaks to your home, the Lord gonna let you stand.
Right.
If not, you're gonna be out of there. Right. And we're seeing the end result of these individuals that's not examining themselves, that have leaven, that's not making proper usage of wisdom, of knowledge, and the understanding of the scriptures. They're using it for a means to make merchandise, right? To make mirth, right? Trying these little fucking podcast jokes and bullshit like that. Little comedy bit at your little weak ass comedy show. You see? But we're here to give you the unadulterated truth so that you have the opportunity to stand in the day of evil, right?
Pretty much to make your house, pretty much hurricane, how y'all try to put it? Hurricane proof, man.
Big ass fucking storm coming.
Right.
Niggas act like their house is really laden, like your house got real security.
Right.
That's why, like, these people that come up against the truth, what's your foundation?
Right.
These guys will try and land back on whatever they hear about some Instagram post, still going, like bros was walking up and we was discussing the rhetoric about Jake. You still got Jake believing that Jesus is the name of the Lord, that the Messiah is white. That's your foundation. You ain't do no deep digging to figure out what's the truth of this matter. Willfully ignorant.
Living in a stick house.
Exactly.
Niggas are scary too.
Niggas are scary.
They don't want to look. They don't want to look past on what they were taught.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And it's amazing because pursuant to Daniel the chapter, we know that knowledge is being increased in these last days. You go on ChatGPT. ChatGPT will give you the whole breakdown of Revelation 13, 16 through 18. The whole research paper. Do you want me to give you some more insight about how this applies to real life times? Give you the whole fucking breakdown, man.
Exactly. Right. Niggas are sick, but they don't want to go to the doctor.
Damn.
And the true physician is YAHAWASHI.
That's it. Hey, the Lord rejected them. He like, y'all don't got the right healthcare provider. I'm sorry.
That's it. That's it, man.
He got gout.
Physicians of no value.
Right. That's what they going to.
That's what they're going to.
The nigga that ain't got no license.
Right. Scripture talk about, our people pay money for that which is not bread. That's what they're running to, man. And they're spending all their money, they're spending all their time, and ultimately, at the end of the day, they're gonna get no nutrition out of what they're paying for, man. The time that they're putting in.
Right.
Going to quacks.
Right. I had a little bit more. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 26. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. Right? And we know that this word is reaching all. Right? The scriptures tell us that the word will reach the four corners of the earth and then the end shall come. And we're seeing the end play out in real time. So this word has reached the masses of people.
Gates of the nobles.
Yeah, it's reached the gates of the nobles. So these jakes that try and walk by and act as though they don't hear us. I saw a post on Instagram where it was some TV show that had Israelites in there. And you had people in the comment section that was pretty much like, shit, I just be walking by, like, I don't even be trying to hear them. Like, I just learned that's the best way to deal with them, not be confrontational, right? So it's people know about the Israelites. Jake knows, but they don't want to make no reformation and actually take heed to the counsel that's being delineated by the prophets.
Yeah, but the scriptures say that they, that the Lord raised up the prophets, all right, to take heed to the sound of the trumpet, but they said what? We don't listen. So that just confirms everything you just said.
Yep.
Because these people know, right? They see us out here, but like you said, they just refuse to engage. You know what? Let's pretend they don't see them, so we can just avoid confrontation, them yelling at us, potentially hearing the truth. So all of that's going to be accounted for. Why so many of our people going to die.
Yep. Hey, look, we saw what happened over by the Kimpton. You see, we had Jake over there that for the longest, we were over there fellowshipping, holding camp, bringing out the truth, and we would have Jake walk by all the time, and it would be the same individuals standing over there. One Jake got shot, and then the next thing you know, another, it was actually the Jake that shot the Edomite over by the French Quarter, right? And then where we was camping at before, over by the Coquette, La Coquette, they pretty much put together like a coalition. We believe they put together like a coalition on that whole block to get us up out of the way. Because when bros was bringing out the truth of pedophiles, right, and truth of the people, those people that was eating outside and shit. Oh, yeah. But we're just here to give you the truth.
Hey, you had the 4 niggas that shot the 4-year-old?
Oh, yep.
That was the same time the dude got shot.
Yep.
Charlotte wicked as hell.
Yeah, so Charlotte, man, hey, Charlotte on the map.
And then the psyop, and they forget about the psyop.
Yep.
The Ukrainian bitch that got stabbed, supposedly.
Yeah. Somewhere he's drinking a latte.
Ukrainian medic that died a couple years ago. Happened to come back to Charlotte and get stabbed on train by a nigga.
There's too many psyops going on.
So we know what time it is. We're not ignorant of Satan devices, man.
Yeah, all this stuff is leading to this new world order, man.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 27, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall.
It wasn't established on the rock. YAHAWASHI. God's foundation is Jesus Christ. Allah. Yahweh, Yah. Okay? Keeping the laws, all 613 laws. God's talking about they keep it to perfection. Right? Just lying.
You're saying that way next match.
A foundation of the Lord coming back to save all of Israel when that's not true. So when the adversity comes, when the storm comes in, all right, the RFID chip is not the mark of the beast. That's God's foundation. So when tribulation hits, it's over. Okay? Ain't no Jacob's trouble? Okay. All right?
Everybody's gonna be held accountable.
That's it, man. What are you waiting on, man? Hey, the Lord said that in Revelation, real quick, and I'll have you finish your read. Go to Revelation 22, where it talks about how the Lord said He's gonna judge every man's work.
Yeah.
It's like at the bottom. Yeah. Right after it goes, every man who's filthy remain filthy.
Hey, you read that too.
Yep.
This is Revelation chapter 22 and verse 11, and in my Bible, it says solemn warnings.
Yep.
It says, "He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still."
That's right.
So
And-
niggas is still upholding this world, the
Yeah.
fashion of this world. Let them have it, man.
Yeah, you
Leave 'em alone.
want to be a brew gangbanger?
Yeah.
Let that nigga remain filthy still, bro.
Yeah. Like I said, if a nigga can't get it, we moving on. Let that nigga have it.
Halloween, and niggas gonna live, right?
The niggas gonna nigga.
Yeah.
You want to be a Israelite feminist?
Oh,
Hey, let her remain filthy still, man.
IUIC.
You know, talking about you and the truth, but you trying to control the man and shit. Fuck it.
So the spirit been heavy on brothers, man. That Isaiah 4:1 is gonna be
yeah.
eye opener on these women out
It's
here.
about to touch many lives.
And it's not going like how y'all think, man.
Yeah, because a lot like even if I watched the video, all brothers that seen it. Like the brother said, a lot of Jake and that time ain't gonna, especially middle order, ain't gonna be wanting to do with the women, man.
Facts.
We ain't gonna want you. We're gonna have bad you look. We ain't gonna want you. Because at the end of the day, everybody want to take care of that shit.
Isaiah 4:1 is based off of times of war and societal collapse.
Yeah, critical times.
And Isaiah 4:1 is going to be about the serving of the elect. It's not going to be no harem gathering.
Yeah.
Like you said, we ain't care about you being bad.
Yeah.
All right, hey, bad bitches don't die out here.
Yeah.
Bad bitches are going to be the majority of the 2/3 dying out here because you think you're beauty to somebody to where you made yourself an honor to these damn men out here, man.
Yep.
You know? So the fact that, as we're saying, let these people have it. Hey, if your spirit ain't right, we're not bending over backwards trying to make you get it.
Revelations 22 and 11, "He that is unjust, let him be unjust still,
Yep.
and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still.
That's right.
And he that is righteous, be righteous still.
Yep.
And he that is holy, let him be holy still."
Yeah, so that's what it say, hold fast to what that has taught, man. Hold fast, man. Don't start to weary because what you see another Jake going through, man. When Jake fall off, don't discourage. You stay focused on your path, man. Because everybody has their own path, man.
Remember, in 2 Ezra 7 said that straight gate was so narrow that only one man could pass through at a time.
Yeah.
So it's your walk,
Yeah.
all right? Even though we're a body, every one of us our own separate walk.
Let every man work out his own salvation with fear and trembling.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 22 and verse 12, "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me,
Yep.
to give every man according as his work
That's
shall
it.
be."
That's it. The Lord is going to reward every man according to his work shall be. So if you putting, good or bad. So if you putting up shabby bullshit work, right? You know, if you not giving the full doctrine, all right? You know, you cutting corners and shit.
Yeah, your
You know?
ass a Hebrew Israelite prophet, but your ass gonna go out to the highway.
Come on, man. Right, you trying to appease to the people. You trying to be politically correct. All that's gonna give account in that time of the Lord's arrival, man. All right, so that's why going back to what y'all was holding in Matthew 7, right? About the foundation, right? If your foundation ain't right, when them winds come, all right, it's over. All right, that house is being blown down. Okay, because it wasn't rooted on the Lord.
That's why I said earlier, the Lord is very specific on the instructions on how you build.
There you go.
And he said that Yahawashi is the master builder, right? Well, he's giving us the blueprint on how to become a master builder as well.
Hey, wasn't the Lord concise when he told Moses to build that first temple?
And King Solomon.
With the tabernacle? Yeah, King Solomon. All right, the Lord was concise with the measurements on what he wanted on there, the colors, the type of skins, all of that, man.
Hey, the Lord gave us people to hear.
If I'm not mistaken, 2 is knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's going into it. Jake has all the ample opportunity to get the knowledge.
Look,
but Jake
priest,
don't want it.
the Lord had it. I was just like, where the fuck did all these people come from? All of these people just got pulled up out of the hotel. You don't see nobody behind her no more.
It's crazy.
And what is Jay gonna do? They gonna hear the prophets and they just gonna be sitting down.
Right.
The fire coming out.
Yeah, literally.
Every single time.
Fire.
Fire gonna blow it on us.
Right.
Yeah.
Go back to that Matthew 7. That was it, though. That's the point.
Okay.
Every man's going to be rewarded according to his work shall be, man. All right? So, hey, in that day, the Lord already knows who's his, but it's going to be revealed in that time, man.
Yep.
You know, guys claim to be Hebrews, right? But you call it on Jesus.
Exactly.
Right? Or now the new thing, we're not even Hebrew Israelites no more. Just Israelites.
Cosplayers.
Yeah, IUIC. Teaching hell doctrine. You're going to burn forever. You know, you're going to save all of Israel. You keep all the laws. It's not about the name. All of that, see, everything that we always talk about, all of that's going to give an account in the time of the Lord's judgment, man.
You're not Hebrews, but you got Hebrews.
Come on, man. But you're exalting Bishop Nate, ISBK, exalting General Yohanan. But where's the exaltation of Yahawashi, man?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This commercialism bullshit. Right, we talk about that. These other groups under that 501c3, hey, they're fucking commercial Israelites, man. Yep. It's all about the gimmicks and theatrics, man. How to sell the brand. It's not about the sincerity of preaching the truth, man.
They really have made Nate and General Yohanan idols.
Yeah.
Like you hear them mention them more than Yahawashi.
Exactly. Now you got Nate with fucking his the people behind him with the superpowers, the glowing eyes. Yeah, with the Gundam suits on. Niggas and Superman and shit got the superpowers and shit with the AI and all that.
They said in the AI that Nate, what's the other two niggas, Yawasop and I forgot the other guy. They said they're chosen. So that means they're the guys.
Yeah.
So that's the guys look for to be elected. The Lord chose them specifically.
Yeah, they put themselves in Moses' seat. That's what about, man.
Hey, great is the fall that house.
That's what I'm saying, man. Guys are going off big time, but hey, let them have it, man. You know, you were giving away onto your own devices. The real prophets, the real teachers are going to stick to what they've been taught, man. They're not going to come up some other way.
And the only reason bringing these guys up is because for edification purposes, so you know what they're going off in.
Exactly.
It's not hating. There's no such thing as hating when it comes to being a righteous judge.
With the rebuke,
Yes.
right? Somebody has to play the role of the false prophet. And so that's imperative for the believers to see it and have it identified so they know who not to follow. Right?
That's not real cool. This is St. John chapter 7, verse 24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
Judge righteous judgment, man. See? So if guys are going off according to the doctrine, it has to be revealed, man. Right? Rebuke before all that others may fear, man.
Yeah, because what did Most High tell Samuel when he was looking for the next heir?
Yep.
He was King David's father's house and he saw all his brothers. And he looked at his brothers, all the big soul brothers. He was like, oh, gotta be them. The Lord told him now, look not on the outward appearance, but on the inward man, because the spirit is going to bear witness whether that man is righteous or not. You know?
You got to go back to that.
You want to go back to the Matthew?
Yeah, it's a little bit more in there.
Okay. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 28. It came to pass when Yahawashi had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at him. For he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes.
We'll go back to Isaiah.
Back to Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord Yahweh rideth on a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Right, and that heart is lob, which essentially that essentially goes into the mind of this place. It's not the same as it once was, because at first it was something called the American Dream, where the American Dream is being touched. The American Dream is being touched, and then also the idol of conglomeration. At first this was known as a melting pot, you see, but division on all sides, Right.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
Run it back.
Isaiah 19 and 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother.
Right, so it said Egyptians against Egyptians. You know, in ancient Egypt, they had, you know, infighting at those times too. You see, but in these times currently, you know, so we got different examples of that. You know, you had the guy, you know, get unalive, you know, maybe like 2 weeks ago at that little rally or whatever. You have people residing on different sides of the spectrum politically. You know, so people are divided there. It's a gender divide. You know, it's an economic divide. You know, people are divided on all fronts. You know.
Right. Can I get something right quick just to land on that too? All right. This is Luke chapter 12 and verse 50. Just going further into that division.
Start at 51.
Start at 51? Okay. This is what Yahawashi had foretold. This is Luke chapter 12, verse 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. Going further into the prophecy of the division that will be experienced in America, right? Because what we're seeing is that these right, these doctrines, the beliefs of these people is drifting them apart, right? That's the spirit that the Lord is putting into the earth because truth is being exalted, right? People's ways are being brought to the light, right?
And what it's coming down to is people are going to have to stand on what they believe in.
Exactly.
And as we're seeing, everybody don't have that same foundation. Yep. So as you see, we saw a good glimpse of that during the pandemonic with the juicy juice. The division came with that. Some people saw that as their salvation. Some people saw through that shit as being some bullshit. All right, but altogether, when it comes down to this MOTV, and Esau really begins to bring this system, this new order system to light, people are going to be divided all the way down to the end.
Yep. Luke chapter 12, verse 53. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And what's so heavy about this too, going into that division, like you was making mention of that economic division, what we're seeing with these previous generations, there's a division between the next generation after, which is severing that wealth transfer. Yeah. So now you got these older baby boomers that's not one over that money to their children. They like, fuck it, I live my life. You gonna have to figure that shit out for yourself. You know? And that's causing division on that level as well, because now you're depriving that next generation of access to resources and wealth to get a leg up. Yeah. And Jake took on that spirit of Esau, right? Wanting to just blow their whole fucking 401k instead of being smart about it, right? And trying to have something like a life savings or something like that, a life insurance policy, right? But that's further in the division as well, you know?
I guess so. This is Mark 3 and 24. If a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Right? So, and we're seeing that division as the brother was going into, you know, in every aspect in America, man. Yep. Everything is divided, everything is fractured. You know what I'm saying? So this kingdom, we're seeing it fall apart piece by piece. And that's coming through all this division, man. You know, there was this guy I was watching, he was saying, like, the scales are being peeled back, man. The scales are just falling off this fish, man. This thing is falling apart, man.
Right. Just bare meat.
Bare meat, exactly.
Okay, this is democracy.
May I read this in the NOT? Because this is pretty much the vibration that's going out right now. Mark 3 and 24, a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. And that's what's being brewed right now. You know, that's what is being promoted through the news, through what's going on, you know, through especially here in Charlotte, as we've been seeing, you know, Jake versus Esau, Esau versus Jake, right? So that alone is going to pretty much bring down we must topple America, man.
Right.
Financially too.
Right, because Esau wants the civil unrest, you know, so that he has means to push forth his enterprise. That's why we're seeing, you know, places to see and to where they're militarizing the police and things of that nature to push NW up.
Right. He's just feeling that chaos. Mm-hmm. Esau wants a chaotic state. He wants a divided state.
Of course.
right? So that he's enforced that order, and everybody's just gonna be with it. They're gonna be green.
Hey, what's Trump said? I'm surprised Chicago's not begging for us to come bring the military in there.
Exactly.
And that's the sentiment he wants across the whole right now, man.
Right.
So they're gonna need more agents of chaos to put forward this narrative, man.
Right. More psyops. More honing in on rhetoric. You know, the line on freedom of speech that we see happening.
Yeah.
You know, we in them times, brothers. You few sisters out there, man, just hold on to the faith, because everything priest has said, a lot of these people beliefs is about to get tested. You know, we got to make sure that our relationship and our belief in Yahawashi is firm on, and it is rooted in that foundation, man. Built on that rock.
Ironclad.
Yep, ironclad. Ephesians the 6th chapter.
Right. Yep. Full armor.
Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor. City against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
And Esau divided on all fronts as well. You know, when you look at, you know, your average everyday Edomite, you know, they're divided against those with money. All right, you got the Edomites over here. All right, and then those in Russia, essentially they're against each other, you know. So, and this place is bound to fall.
Yeah, right versus left. Maggard, you got the Maggard mad at Trump.
I was watching the Elder Ariala's video that he did, and he was pointing out a video that was pretty much talking about this this analyst that pretty much looked at civil war over the course of like several different countries, and he was basically talking about how with the state that America's in right now, it's ripe for civil war.
Yeah, it was basically how it all got started.
Yep.
What events was taking place before it really started to pop off. And we're in, I forgot what stage we're in, but we're very close.
Hey, these videos, these lessons, the camps, it's like the closing words almost, man. I mean, shit, you know, it's about to go down. We ain't got much time left. Yeah, it's a curtain call. You know, how they turn the lights on before the club in. We at that one.
Last call.
Yeah, last call. You know what I'm saying? Get your shit in order.
DJ just started, y'all need to come to the front.
Get your clothes in the rack.
Right. Now you gotta really like, you're trying to get at that shorty, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You make your move before it's all said and done.
Hey, but look, the lights done came on, and Jake's saying they stand in front of the dove right now, man.
But see, it ain't gonna really hit until we gone, bro. That's the thing, man.
Right.
That's where that Amos 8 and 11 gonna play.
Right, because them lights, that light gonna come on.
Right.
You know that the scriptures speak about the gross darkness covereth the people.
Right.
When the Lord activate that judgment, it's gonna be just like, oh shit, and it's just gonna be active. It's gonna be on go quick.
Right.
Them death angels just gonna be like that, left and right.
It's gonna be like Friday Night Lights. When that shit, the light hits the stadium, looking up like, oh shit. You know?
You're just gonna hear screams.
The Lord said, he said, basically what it said, the streets basically full of dung. If I should lay a dung.
Oh yeah. Got it out.
Isaiah 19:3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards.
Right, so it says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And one thing that, you know, ancient Egypt abided in was their so-called wisdom. You know, that's the same thing in America, Babylon the Great, but the Lord said he's going to destroy the council, you know, because essentially, hey, those demons ain't working how they used to for America, Babylon the Great, you know.
Because Esau embraces his pseudoscience. Same thing what Egypt was doing at the time, man. That science of that time, that's how Esau Edom tries to justify him around the world doing all this damn wickedness, man. All this pharmakia, all this wickedness they sown throughout the earth, he uses his form of science, which that's with the wisdom of this world, man.
That's how you
It's Jeremiah 49 and verse 7. concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Right? And when you read in the NLT, it says, is there no more wise counsel, man? So they're seeking out this this advice on how to continue on, but every step they take is forward in their demise, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we're at the pinnacle of this man's technology, dealing with the AI, dealing with the nanotechnology, the chip. All right, the Gideon, the Palantir. This is top of the top for this devil. He's not going past that, man. Right? So at the height of this technology equates to the downfall. Right? So we're at the point, because all this stuff that they created is going to be used for total oppression, wickedness, man. All right? So now we're at the point, has the wisdom vanished? This is it. You know, this the philosophy of merging man with machine, that's not going to benefit mankind. You see what I'm saying? There's no wisdom behind that. Okay? You know, a man changing his gender, a woman changing her gender. All right? That's all grounds of destruction. You see that?
Those are signs of a fallen kingdom.
There you go.
Because history always repeats itself. Every time a kingdom is about to go out, more decadence and immorality is at an all-time high. So when you start seeing men and women on the lines of sex, you know that kingdom is not too far from being destroyed.
Yeah, you got 5G going to 6G. And what is that going to do? Push more radiation.
Fry your ass.
Fry your ass up. Cancer rates about to explode even more. All these satellites in orbit around the Earth. More radiation in the ozone layer, man. Chemtrails.
You got
right?
Gates of hell, Edomites pushing forth this fake and clone meat.
Come on, man. All of that. And it came out that I wanted to do a video on it, but you know, I have to put it on Rumble. But they were saying the people who got the C-19, they have nano parasites in it.
Yeah, you got fake parasite. Yo, that's.
See what I'm saying?
This devil has got
Remember he put the nanotechnology in it.
Yeah.
With the G word, I'm not gonna say.
So is their wisdom vanished? Is there no more prudence? Go ahead, Ak, you got any more?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 4.
You get 3 again?
3.
Oh, you had it? Well,
Yeah, I had it.
You gonna sing this one?
Yeah.
Oh, you can run this back. Did we get that?
All right.
Isaiah 19, verse 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards.
Right. Same thing mentioned in Isaiah, the 47th chapter, in the 10th verse to the 12th verse, you know. Esau's communing with these different spirits, and that's why we're seeing a whole bunch of distractions, entertainment, and stuff like that to keep the people's minds, you know, distracted on stuff that don't matter, you know. But it said the Lord was going to destroy the counsel thereof. How that's being done is by exposure, you know, through this truth. So we can we get that?
God. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. Let me start at 8.
All right, verse 7.
Verse 7, Con. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
And that mystery of is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you know.
Right. Ultimately going back to Rome, right? Going back to the Romans, which now, you know, this reincarnation of that, which is America.
Right.
But it says, verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed.
Right, so it says, and then shall that wicked, all right, the wicked is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right, the physical counterpart of Satan. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, you know, so right now, the Lord is in the process of revealing Esau, Edom, you know, that's why, you know, his deception don't work how it used to.
Right, right, that was his power, right, secrecy. Dwelling in the shadows, man.
Right.
You know, operating, you know, pulling the strings from behind the scene. You know, he was that man, like in the Wizard of Oz, right, the man behind the curtain.
Right.
Right? But now it's being revealed that he's just a mere man, he's just a mere mortal.
Right. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Control, really.
Even going further, right? Everybody knew Amalek was working behind the scenes, right? Pushing all these things forward, but now it's being made more and more known to this because you see them stepping forward into the light, man. Right? It's been exposed. You see people like Ben Shapiro, what's the other guy, Matt Wall, right? All these guys who are all Amalekites taking over the mantle of the talking heads of American politics, man.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. He's infiltrated yet again.
And you just picture Esau like a damn criminal running in the street, and the damn ghetto Thunderbird, the helicopter just shining the light on him. Him trying to run and escape. He can't get away from it.
You know, nigga trying to shape shit, put on a mask.
He like a Scooby-Doo with the mask.
Yep.
Trying to juke out the helicopter. He can't get away.
Right.
Trying to go down the alley, trying to hide.
Yep. Shit, Isaiah 29?
Yeah, Isaiah. We get that. We'll come at it.
Okay, come.
Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us?
Because ultimately, right now, they feel as if, you know, the Lord is in, you know, the stuff that they're conspiring with. All right, Psalms 83. All right, Psalms, the 2nd chapter. Are these different groups, you know, Rosicrucians and Freemasons and things of that. You know, they feel as if they're conspiring and they're not going to be held accountable for these things. But the scriptures say the Lord requires that which is past.
In the latter, it says, their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us?
Right, and the scriptures also say that the Lord's eyes is 10,000 times brighter than his. It's keeping an account of everything happening, you know.
And who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
Right, because Esau Edom essentially turned everything upside down. All right, the Lord made the earth and foundation. All right, everything had a certain cycle, a certain balance. What Esau Edom has done is he's taken it out of balance, and he felt like he wasn't going to be held accountable for that. So the Lord is essentially exposing that by way of His truth.
Right, and he was programmed to be that way.
Right.
Esau was programmed to be the wicked. So for Jake that tries to nullify all of the crimes and atrocities that Esau has done on earth, you're not going to nullify his role in prophecy. He's the wicked. His works speak to it. He's working. As the brother had read in 2 Thessalonians, the mystery of iniquity doth already work. This devil is working overtime, like brothers was making mention of all of the things that he's doing in the earth. Who has that means to do so? You have, in order to do the shit that Esau did, you have to be given the authority over the earth. Because if you didn't have authority over the earth, you would never be able to do those things. Changing fucking food. How does one even change the genetic makeup of food? How do you even think of something like that?
Why are you thinking of something?
Why are you thinking of something like that? Why are you thinking of reprogramming children and chopping off their rods and making them go through a sex change? How do you even program your mind to think like that, or even be in the position of authority to do so? You have to be the wicked.
That's a lot of time and energy.
That's a lot of time. Like, goddamn, nigga, you was better off just keeping it what it was.
Hey, but scripture say he don't sleep unless he calls from all.
Exactly.
Unless he does works of mischief.
That's how you know that he's the wicked. He's programmed like that. Like, he gets the same way how we get vexed in spirit if we don't do right. He get vexed in the spirit if he don't do wrong. He like, yo, I ain't kill a nigga today. God damn.
That's how you like it's too many people.
I ain't dropping shit.
I didn't get nobody.
Itching and shit.
That's a real wicked nigga.
Yo, where the babies at?
Yeah.
And the scriptures say they imagine mischiefs in their heart, man. Right? Their whole mind is to destroy, right? This is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Right? So what we're seeing right now is them executing that power, man. They're blessing. They were blessed with the oil and the fatness of the earth, man. Right? And being given the sword, they have to work and execute everything they do through the power of that sword, man. He can't move in a peaceful way, right? It's against his nature to move in a righteous way. You know, that's why when it talks about they spread themselves as a green bay tree, right? They have to spread through violence, man. They have to infect everything that they touch with wickedness, right? Everybody on this sign is being held accountable for that, man. Right? They're all complicit or active participants in the destruction of the earth, man.
Yeah. Shit, what you think that meeting was the other day when DJ Trump and all them damn John Lord up in London? They just had that big dinner, man. What you think they was talking about, man? They was basically talking about we're almost at the end of bringing in this new world order. That's what they were talking about.
And they literally pretty much lived out that AI video that you posted
Right in your face, man. Right in your face. It's done, man. They're really about to usher this thing in, man. They're really about to crash this stuff.
And it shows you how close Yahawashi is. The fathership, you know. Come on, man. The heavenly hosts are here. Everything is being lined up, man, for it to go down.
Yeah, and that's why brothers is on overdrive, man. And there was a point I heard Elder Zahab make, but it's like, you notice how GMS is the only camp, and the brothers that follow us are the only camp that talk about the chariots. That talk about spiritual power and all that. Because we see it. You other guys don't see it, man. And if they are important, if they do see chariots, they don't report on it. We do that so that we give faithful. To show you, like it says in 2 Kings 6:16, man, they that with us are more than they'll be with them, man.
These are the vehicles of our salvation.
Exactly.
Everything when it comes to all the various events that's taking place in Babylon are faith boosters to us because we see that the Lord is drawing closer and closer.
We are being groomed to embrace the supernatural. Because that's what's coming, man. Supernatural shit that you never thought you could possibly see in your life. Shit that you see in movies, the war's gonna be happening in real life on the left and the right hand side.
Yeah, right. You have to get your mind. You have to get prepared for that, man. That's why you constantly have to supping in this word and meditating on these prophecies, man. Once you start to worry about the affairs of this life, that's when your faith starts to work.
I did the video yesterday, man. And keeping your eye on Yahawashi, man. That's right. And when you're constantly looking at the Lord, man. All things are made plain. Right. And when you start moving your sight to all these other bullshit, that's when you start getting back to and Satan, gets up in there.
Right. Yeah. That's ultimately what they call Arkham's razor. Right. This is pretty much the simplest answer is ultimately the solution. It's the scriptures. Right. So the chariots, they talk about is some aliens or some planet Nibiru or some other shit. But really, the scriptures lay it out. They're the angels, man. Right?
The scripture says they're the chariots of our salvation, right?
Yeah.
That's why I want to grab that.
And the scriptures also say, look up because your redemption draws down. That's why we're constantly looking up into the heavens, man. Because we understand that the Lord is getting closer and closer. Backing up the love breeze. Like you said, man, when you meditate on Yahawashi, that means you're supping in these prophecies. Because Revelation 19:10, Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. So you're constantly embracing everything that you see taking place as far as these current events, which are what the plagues. You know that Yahawashi is drawing close, man. That's why you got to stay meditating on these things, man. Can you get that for me real quick? Pass it back.
So Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
This book of the law is talking about the Bible, man. It should not depart out of thy mouth, man. You're constantly supping in these scriptures, man. Meditating on these scriptures, reading, trying to get making sure you embracing these scriptures day and night, man. Keep going.
Yeah, because that's the communicating with the Lord.
Yep. Crying out. Because the praying is a form of begging. Crying out to the Lord, doing like the brother said, Apostle Paul is going to. That's showing that you need him. Right? Chris said it earlier. We need the Lord, man. We can't do none of this without him, man. Yeah. And we're not ashamed to say it, man.
That's tapping back to the apostles. And look how smooth your day goes when you actually take the read, pray, fast when you need to, man. The spirit, you feel the spirit, increasing.
Yep. It feel like a boost of energy.
Yeah.
Got it.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night, and that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Yep. Thou mayest observe to do all that is according to what is written therein. As the brother priest just said, man. Reading, studying, fasting, fellowship, everything the Lord told us to do, man. Taking heed to the prophecies, man. Everything he told us to do, man.
Noting the correct way.
Yeah.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
Then thou shalt make thy way prosperous. Because what are you doing? You're setting your house in order, man. You're getting yourself prepared for the return of the Lord, man. And actually makes your ways prosperous in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. That's why, like the brother said, everything will go a lot smoother if you actually just do what the Lord commanded you to do, man. Yeah, you're going to go through your hells and tribulation, but that's part of the walk. But you ain't about to catch that back end like a lot of the kids. They going to catch that back end. I'd rather catch what's going on right now. Go to hell, job, women, children, the bullshit. Yeah. But knowing that the Lord got me, gonna get me through it.
Hey, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, good.
How's the scripture go? How we suffer, basically suffer the hell so we don't have to suffer the true destruction that's coming. I can't think of it right
Enter
now.
into the Y.
No, let me try to find it.
Because I can add to you. 'Cause I saw, I don't know what brother posted that quote earlier, but he said pretty much, don't sacrifice what you want most for what you want now.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this world's going to pass away. And this world is catered to you pleasing the flesh. So if your ultimate goal, all right, is salvation through IshayarYAHAWASHI, then you're going to do what needs to be done.
That's right.
Whether you feel like doing it or not.
I got that quote for you. It says, if you don't sacrifice what you want will be your sacrifice.
And that's why the Lord is saying what you care about the most. Make your Romans 12:2, man. Make your body a living sacrifice, like 12:1. You know, make your body a living sacrifice, man. Because when you're putting that to the Lord, all right, that's showing that you actually are trying. But if you're putting your family, your job, or whatever else over the Lord will take that from you, man. If you're of the elect, man, or if you're of the 2/3, He's gonna let that shit consume you. And that's what's gonna pull you up the truth.
Yep. Give you what to say. Was there any more on that corner off? That was it?
A little bit more. It's Joshua 1:8, and I'll just read it again. It reads, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success."
Yep. Then thou shalt have good success, man. And what is the ultimate success? Salvation, which we're seeking for, man. That's why we out here putting our bodies as a living sacrifice. And that's what we're seeking for, is to be saved from the coming destruction that the Lord's about to bring into the earth, man. That's what we're seeking for, man. True salvation through IshayarYAHAWASHI. This world wants salvation through Esau. And they ain't getting it. He can't save himself.
9. Have not I commanded thee, be strong and of a good courage, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy power is with thee whithersoever thou goest.
Right, so being under the covering of IshayarYAHAWASHI, right, we're encouraged and we're admonished to stay in the spirit of confidence, right? Calm meaning with, but that's going back to the word fidelity, meaning faith, right? So we're to remain faithful to the mission, right? We're to remain obedience through the face of adversity, right? As brothers was making mention of the, you said Arkham Razor, right? Have our mind focused on Yahawashi. That's what Peter went through, right? When he was walking on that water and he took his eyes off Yahawashi and he started to focus on the wind, that's when he started, right? So what we're coming into that exact time where we have to remain focused on Yahawashi in this world where it's about to pivot into all-out madness. Because without Yahawashi, what can we really expect to get through without him?
Philippians 4:13. You walk in through the Mashiach, through strength. That's your power.
That's it.
We deliver for you. So we deliver for you.
Finish it out, 2 Thessalonians.
Yeah.
Did we get that precept for the chariot?
You had it. Want me to get that for you?
Or was it out of season? Priest.
Priest.
You want that precept for the chariot?
Oh yeah, you go ahead.
Oh, it's Philippians. I got this one from
Break it down.
Habakkuk 3 and verse 8. It says, "Was the Lord displeased against the rivers? Was thine anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea, that thou didst ride upon thine horses and thy chariots of salvation?"
And that pretty much serves as a similitude and a foreshadowing and a picture of, how much destruction the Lord is going to do. Right. But then it says at the latter, it says, and thy chariots of salvation, because the chariots is going to be the vehicles that's used to deliver the elect. As the as the ICBMs is coming down, the elect's going to be beamed up, so it's going to be a simultaneous deliverance.
Right.
It's the only way out.
Mm-hmm.
Want me to go back?
Catch no PJ out the damn nuclear missile.
Say what?
Niggas ain't gonna catch no PJ out no
Try.
Speaking on that, because the destruction that's going to take place after the missiles hit, the earth is going to be in complete hell for an undisclosed time, man. We don't know how long we're going to be in the chariots, but we know it's going to be a while. Because the earth is going to have to get through that nuclear winter, and that fallout and everything else. So, you know, the country that's not going to get hit by the missiles, they're going to be drinking contaminated water, the animals going to be fucked up.
Radiation poison.
Radiation poison. It's bad out here, man.
Right.
It's going to be bad.
Jake don't understand how serious this trying to get.
The Lord set this thing up where you have no choice to rely on Him.
Right.
There's no other means that's going to deliver you from what's to come. You know?
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. Then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Right, and essentially Esau, Edom, you know, his plans, you know, his different schemes, those things are being exposed, all right, by the Spirit. And it says, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which represents the prophets, you know, bringing out this truth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, you see, because when the Lord ultimately back, he's going to destroy, you know, the heathen hegemonies, all right, in 2/3.
Right.
In the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, and verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord, IshayarYAHAWASHI4theELECTION3, the Lord of hosts. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the rivers shall be wasted and dried up.
Right, because what this is going into, reading down to verse 10, is talking about the, you know, because like ancient Egypt, they really relied on the economy that Nile River gave them, you know. So likening this to America bound the great, you know, the economy is really being touched.
Isn't the Mississippi River likened to the Nile River or something like that?
Yeah.
It's the same.
So hey, we're in spiritual Egypt.
Is this, I think it's 37% on one side, just like it was in Egypt. We have, what is it, Memphis, right on the same as Middle Egypt, right on the river.
It pretty much it kind of split the country into two, and then like it has like different areas that it pretty much branch off.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
So they transport a lot of goods and stuff, you know, from the ships in the Mississippi River.
Oh yeah.
But it's drying up now. So,
Isaiah 19 and verse 6. And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of the fence shall be empty and dried up. The reeds and flags shall wither. The reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. The fishes also shall mourn. The fishes also shall be mourned, and all they that cast angle into the brook shall lament, and they that spread upon the waters shall languish.
yeah, and that's what you see going on with a lot of these fishes beaching, they said. And it also has to do with Esau, Edom tampering the water. The fishes are basically poison, man. I forgot what it could have been Mississippi River, but it was a lot of fish just come washing up the water, man. Because all the contamination, and also with them waves, with them submarines that Esau be doing, they be messing with them fishes, man.
With the sonar.
Radiation, yeah.
And with the sonar.
Yeah, the sonar, the sonar, that messes with a lot of.
And officials also goes into these people who work, man. Right, we're seeing the economy, you know, reach a downturn that it's never seen before, man. Yeah. Right, they're saying, you know, we're seeing the worst economy since the pandemic, man. Right, where there are more people that need jobs than there are jobs available, man. Yeah, right. So we're at the point of that turning over the economy that they need to bring in that CBDC system, right? All this is about to reach ahead, man.
Yeah.
You know?
This chapter is going into how work is drying up. That's why as you read further on, it says what? There should be no work for Egypt. Right.
Yeah.
All right, so all the work that supports the economy here is dead.
They, if I can add too, you know, at one point, this was a like a DoorDash, Uber Eats. Yeah, a gig economy. The gig economy is no more. All right, they're putting to where with DoorDash, they driving or they flying the food to different clients. You know, same thing with Uber Eats. You know, so it's no work for Egypt.
That's all these things drying up. Where it talks about the reeds drying up, the river drying up. it's nowhere to go to get a job out here, man. Right? And if you think you got a job, right, it's one of these ghost applications that they talk about where you're applying for something that don't even exist.
I believe I heard a brother bring that report out saying like over 75% of Americans are jobless, only 25% of Americans actually have jobs. So it was like nobody really is able to work no more because there's people out of work. There's no gig jobs, so even your side hustle is no longer a side hustle.
Yeah, I did a lesson last night. We're really actually, they're down to admit that we're in a recession because I watched Powell, they're doing another cut. But with them doing another cut, that's making the buying power in the dollar weaken more and more, which is adding what? More to the debt. So they're basically just saying it in your face that you're in a recession. Like the tariffs and all these wars and all these things that's happening is actually crippling the economy. That's why people in America are so dumb. You're actually already in war because war is what stimulates the economy, man. That's why they're going to war now. That's why you see Esau Edom trying to build up his arsenal and do all these deals with Saudi Arabia and these other countries, investments. Why? They're going to war, man. But these people are so damn stupid, they don't understand. You was able to get through 2008, because why? War. 2000, war. It was always a war, right? But now, 2025, the war again. It's the same thing, man.
Hey, to add to that, priest, you brought out, that point you brought out, priest, the jobs that people do have can't pay the bills, right? So you see figures talking about however many millions of people have jobs, but it's misleading because they can't actually afford to live out here, man. Right? So like, just going back to the scriptures the brother is reading, right? Everything being dried up, people can't live anymore. They don't have, as the scriptures talk about, the things necessary for a man's life, right? We're watching them be putting the squeeze they put on them.
You got some more?
Right. Salak, I just wanted to add to the brother's point. What you're seeing, you know, a good reference to look at is prior to World War II, right? During the Great Depression, you know, what was going on during that time and leading up to World War II, you know, that pretty much is essentially what's going on. You have a depression that's building up, a recession that's about to, you know, kick. Really, we're in a recession, but they're, like the brother Quanawath mentioned, they're putting these fake, you know, these dummy applications, these dummy posts up on like Indeed, and to give you the illusion that America is still, you know, booming.
Yeah, nigga get the WhatsApp text talking about you got a remote job and however much an hour and all that. That shit ain't real, man. It just shows your data been breached. You know, I hate that shit.
Well, see, that's that snare the Most High done laid upon Esau. He think just because he go to war, this is going to be the last war right here.
That's why he's dragging his feet.
Yeah, he think he's going to snap back after the war, the economy pick up. No, that's that snare Most High done laid out for them. This is it right here.
Right, because this world stage is different from times past. Like the scriptures say, have you become weak as weak? Right? Esau ain't playing with that high card no more. He don't got the high hand. You know?
He ain't the A side no more.
He ain't got the A side no more.
Yeah.
Shit looking real spooky. You got the Dragons of Arabia, you got the BRICS Alliance, right? You got all of these nations that are pretty much putting together a way in which they can come against the beast, right? Well, more specifically the whore. Because even within the 10 nations within the EU, right, they're gonna start to look at the whore with hate. And we're already seeing that that's being fueled amongst the EU.
Isaiah 19 and verse 9. Moreover, they that work and find flax, and they that weave networks shall be confounded. And they shall be broken in the purposes thereof, all that make sluices and ponds for fish.
Right, and again, this is going into the economy. So I got this right fast. Actually, can we get that real fast?
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Verse 3.
Verse 3, Salakia, I apologize.
You're right.
Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 3, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble.
Right, and the keepers of the house, they represents the economists. You know, those that look out for the well-being of the economy, you know, how the people are doing, you know, because the economy is what they call the lifeline of the people. You know, if nobody's spending money, but I mean, ain't nobody doing good, you know.
Right. Economy goes into etimon, household management.
Right. And that's why they keep lowering the interest rates so they can stimulate the flow of the dollars, man.
Right.
You know?
Yep. Money loves speed.
Right.
But that recession, that's just only gonna boost the division even more. Because who has the money to just say, fuck, I'm gonna be able to invest more of my money? Niggas don't have money. Niggas don't got no bread.
Right. But that's the game of this system, is that those who have the money can afford to borrow the most money to spend that money. But when you're at the bottom, you can't afford to borrow, man. Right? Because that's gonna put you in the where you're in the perpetual servitude, man.
Yep. Verse 3 in the latter, it says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders, cease because they are few.
Right, it says, and the grinders cease because they are few. The grinders essentially represent, the workers. All right, it's no more work. Scripture says no work for Egypt. You know, I'm gonna get this real fast because again, reading Isaiah 19:5-10, we got Ecclesiastes 12:3. It goes into the economy. So I got this AI over, and it says, if an economy has no workers, there is no production of goods, services, leading to shortages and potential societal collapse. If an economy has no consumers, businesses cannot sell their products, resulting in decreased revenue, layoffs, business closures. All right, something going into that as well. An example of that, is these different programs that they got. EBT and SNAP. Well, they don't have any workers. Well, it will be no use, to have those benefits anymore. So that's leading to layoffs. So it says business closures and a sharp economic downturn with potential for mass starvation. Both scenarios create a negative feedback loop, as a lack of workers means fewer consumers who are all consumers of goods and services, and lack of consumers means businesses have no incentive to produce or employ anyone, leading to collapsing economy.
You go ahead. I was just going to add, going into the Agenda 2030 and things of that nature, right? These 15-minute cities, they need this place the economy to be flatlined so that they can build up in the way they want it to, man. You can't have traditional business operating with the central bank digital currency business, man. Now, with the AI being established, they can create these factories that don't need workers. They can create these plants that are doing this the fake meat and things of that nature. They can give you your ration of clothing. They can tell you they can build your house with the robots and things of that nature. Right, so they won't need the employees. That's why you're watching every job, right, start to shift into, right, taking AI as the dominant force, man.
Yeah, that's it. It's real time. Yuval Noah Harari said, look, we don't need humans no more. Right. And we're actually seeing that shit. Everything is going automated.
That's what they call the people, right? Useless eaters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just showing you that you really don't, this new system that's being implemented ain't gonna value, the human. It's gonna be towards mainly the top elite, right?
That's why they don't really care about Northern Kingdom getting shipped off back to Mexico or wherever, because losing all the farm jobs, because they were gonna replace them with AI anyway.
This is Isaiah 19.
What's a lot? Give us some more in this. Okay.
Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 3 in the letter, it says, and the grinders cease, they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Like you said, going into the fact that there's going to be job loss. There's not going to be anybody working. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
God, you running back from the part you asked earlier?
Verse 4?
The latter, verse 3.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. In the latter, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened.
Right, it's no hope, for this place. All right, it's no future. All right, so those that are looking out the window essentially represents looking out into the future. They don't see any hope for this place.
Right. That's all they know, though.
Right.
This is the thing. Like the scriptures say, there's no vision, the people perish.
Right. Yep.
So it's like you don't see anything. That's why niggas is high as fuck all the time. They trying to sedate themselves with all type of drugs, all Molly. But hey, the Lord about to start cutting all that shit out.
Right.
You ain't gonna have access to the strong drink.
Right.
You're not gonna have access to the internet. You're not gonna have access to folly. You're just gonna have to deal with the truth of what's the reality of this shit, man. It's gonna be bitter.
Also, I want to make one add, a lot of these companies, they are shut down now. It's because of these tariffs. These companies that have on orders being shipped from these different countries, now they get tariff bills.
Yep.
Equal to or just a little bit less than the money they pay for the orders. There's a lot of them they're gonna shut down. These small, they're gonna shut down.
Yep.
And there's gonna be a lot of job loss there.
Farmers. Farmers getting hit left and right by them tariffs. They can't ship their stuff out overseas. They can't get paid. You know, some of them are just barely. Some of them are just barely making ends meet. Some really considering just retiring and going working a normal job. So that just shows you, man, shit is through.
Right. They were surviving off these subsidies and different tax breaks that they were getting. Right, and then once Trump cut off, now you're seeing Esau crying out. Right, when Jake farmers were living where they was from the beginning, man. Right. It was damn near impossible to run a farm as an Israelite, right, from the jump. But now Esau is starting to see, right, without all this money, all this debt that they can pile on to build forth to these buying this land or buying these seeds or buying the fertilizer, all the machines that they need, right? They know now that this is not a sustainable enterprise, man.
And what were they telling Jake? Work harder. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Now the Lord is telling you the same thing. Work harder. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Get over it.
Get over it. And Esau crying, just like with the blessing. He's always crying and bitching.
Right. He about to bitch more. Like, we gonna see Esau complain on a level that we never seen.
Right.
And you know his spirit. He's just gonna crash out.
This is the book of Isaiah 19 and verse 11. Surely the prince of Zion are fools. The counsel of wise counselors of Pharaoh is becoming brutish. How say ye of Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings?
Right, so it says, surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. You know, how have they became brutish? You know, because at one point, you know, they excelled, all right, in you know, so-called wisdom. So could we go ahead and get that?
God. 1 Kings 4:20. Judah and Israel were many as the sand which is by the sea.
Verse 30.
1 Kings 4:30. Salakia. 1 Kings 4:30. It says, in Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east countries.
Right, because essentially King Solomon was the wisest man. You know,
God.
He was YAHWASHI in the regeneration, or one of his generations.
God. It says, and all the wisdom of Egypt.
It said, in all the wisdom of Egypt, you know, so at one point in time, you know, ancient Egypt, you know, was known for, you know, their so-called wisdom, you know.
Right.
That's why it says right here, Isaiah 19:11, surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish.
Right.
How say ye unto Pharaoh, the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? And we got, you know, Jeremiah 49:7, just going into that because the Lord is taking away, you know, that so-called wisdom.
Right.
Get that in the NLT.
The first king?
Isaiah 19 and what was it? 11. I got it.
This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 11. In the NLT it reads, what fools are the officials of Zoan? Their best counsel to the king of Egypt is stupid and wrong. Will they still boast to Pharaoh of their wisdom? Will they dare brag about all their wise ancestors?
Right, and that's what Esau, he's in the mindset of right now, realizing that he can't boast and brag on the works of his forefathers, man. Right. Because as soon as he brings that out, you know, everybody's here to condemn it, man. Because they know that this whole place was rooted and founded on rape, robbery, and murder, right? So when they try to bring that out as if it was something to be proud about, they get kicked down time and time again, man. You know? So all that advice, all the ways of your forefathers, right? They can't say, you know, my grandfather did this and he picked himself up by his bootstraps, because everybody knows what truly happened, man. Right. You know?
Isaiah 19 and verse 12. Verse 12. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee, and let them know what the Lord Yahweh of hosts has proposed unto Egypt.
Right, it says, where are they? Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts hath purposed upon Egypt. And essentially, the Lord has a purpose against Egypt, death and destruction.
This is Isaiah 13 and verse 1, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see.
All right, so it said the burden of Babylon. All right, and the scriptures go into time and time again. You know, scriptures know this place as double rebellion. All right, Nineveh, Assyria. All right, Babylon to Egypt. And it said the burden. So that burden, it listed 2 times, Isaiah 19 and then also 13. You know, that burden, that doom is an utterance against this place. So this place can look forward to, you see, because the scriptures say that they have rebelled against the Lord, and essentially the sins have reached into the skies, you know.
Right. It's a weight, you know, that we're seeing weighing down upon America, man. Right. And it's starting to crush America, really. That weight is starting to become unbearable to these Americans, man. That's what we're seeing. Yeah, the big play. That's what we're seeing them start to crash out. You know, a lot of them ain't really even trying to pay the debt that they have. Because they're like, you know, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's the reason why they voted for Trump, because they thought that everything would get better. But really, we're seeing things get even worse.
Yeah. I appreciate it. 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 19. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Had not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world? So the Most High tell you, where are these wise men at? Where are all the smart men that had, you know, you Israelites and everybody else, you know, in shambles? Where is he? Where is the disruptor who lied to the world and told them lies and got the whole world on his neck? Where is he? Most High said he done destroyed them. They ain't nowhere. He done brought them down. Now everybody beginning to see the light because they can't control the light no more. They covered it up once, but they can't do it now. So that's the Most High. It's showing everybody that he's finna bring these damn devils down and raise up his people, man.
Right. Right. You know, the signs are there. You know, when you read about Matthew 24, about the parable of the fig tree, man. All the signs are pointing that this is the end of Esau's kingdom, man. It was 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, or 9 and 6. Jacob is the end of the world, but I mean Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that follows, man. So that transition is happening, man.
Right. It's not going to be an instant transfer of power.
Right.
It's going to take place over time, like you said.
Right.
And we're seeing that happen right now.
Right.
Curses are being shifted to our enemies pursuant to Deuteronomy 30 and 7.
1 Corinthians 1 and verse 21. For after that, that in the wisdom of the Most High, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. It pleased the Most High. It pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians 1 and 21. For after that, in the wisdom of the Most High, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. It pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
Right. The foolishness of preaching. This gospel being preached, right, is confounding the wise of this world. Right? It's confounding these counselors unto Pharaoh. It's confounding the people that are cleaving to this society in the hopes that there's going to be a restoration of America, right? And to the world, it seems foolish to them, right? But this is the plan of the Lord for the foolishness of preaching to confound the wise of this world, man. Because we're telling it according to the script of IshayarYAHAWASHI4theELECTION3 what will happen. As it tells us in 2nd Ezra 15, the word is faithful and true. Nothing that's read earlier in Isaiah 34 and 16, none shall want her mate. Everything that we are reading is happening in real time. Everything that was foretold, going back to the apostles and the elders and the bishops that's been laboring for years, everything is about to culminate. We're about to see Jacob's trouble. We're about to see the MOT. And what was once seen as a matter of, oh, that's a conspiracy. We are literally seeing the blueprint and the infrastructure be established to allow this to happen.
Yep, right in your face.
Yep.
Yeah, more on that.
Chapter 27. 1 Corinthians 1 and 27. But the Most High had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
All right, the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. To this world, The preaching of the gospel is foolish, but yet it is confounding the very souls of this world. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4.
And the Most High had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
Right, because as the scriptures speak about, in this I am made strong, roughly paraphrasing, the Lord has used us as mere vessels to preach this gospel, to preach this knowledge and understanding to the four winds. Whether our people hear or forbear, the Lord had plans for this wisdom to go out. You see? And it's accomplished in the will of the Lord. Reread that verse once more.
1 Corinthians 1 and 27. But the Most High had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And the Most High had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
Right, to confound the things which are mighty. These strongholds are mighty. You see? The things and philosophies that Babylon, the great America, pushed out are mighty. But through the preaching of this gospel, it's brought it all under the subjection of Hamashiach. Because now the truth is being declared. Now all of the lies that Esau has set up to pretty much fortify his hegemony are being thrown out the way. Right, as the scriptures speak about, as you had put in the chat earlier this week, Quanawal, making clear the path for the king, right? Digging up those stones. We pretty much driving out all the bullshit of this world to make clear for the way of Yahawashi.
That's right. Verse 28. And base things of the world, and things which are despised.
And things that are despised. Right? The scriptures tell you in the book of Romans, the 9th chapter, the 26th verse, right? We were once called, or we were once referred to not as the Lord's people, but it shall be declared, roughly paraphrasing, right? Keep reading.
Had the Most High chosen, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are.
That's it.
One more. Verse 29. That no flesh should glory in his presence.
And I got something, if I may.
How you go?
Brothers got something.
After that, we'll go to 16.
This is Isaiah 55 and verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Right? And how is this word being promoted? Through the prophets. Right? And we're seeing the manifestation of the prophecies coming to pass just by this word being brought out.
Right.
The vibration of IshayarYAHAWASHI is being spread throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Just by us speaking, man, we're seeing change, man. The end coming. Right? That's why it says, when you go, we read earlier, right? In 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, where it talks about he shall consume him with the brightness of his, consume him, the spirit of his mouth. Right? This man is being consumed, man. His kingdom is being consumed as we speak.
Should have hewn them down by the mouth of the prophets.
Right.
Come on, bro. Is there anything else?
Nah.
Wait, I don't want to Zaza about your Pablo with us. Catch through the spirit. Well, I'm going to close it out by saying, Hey, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that tells us truth and rule well. And respect to you, bros, that they're pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
How you want to walk?
How you want to love?